Coming at you straight from the 6 Foot Studios. This is American Forked Podcast, where we as a group of friends have recognized that America has divided itself, and we are trying to fix it.
Don't interrupt him with your laughs.
One
That's
episode
rude.
at a time.
You're laughing like it's absurd that we can fix America, but it's not. We're going to do it.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Everyone calm down. Jake has a podcast to run here.
Oh, yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
go
My
ahead.
name's Jake.
We
I'm
just said
hosting.
we weren't going to talk over Jake the whole
I've got some friends with me here tonight. There's to my right, sitting right next to me, is Tyler. Tyler, hello.
Hello.
What's up, Tyler?
How's it going,
We're glad you're
guys?
here.
It's been
You
a
all are
while.
familiar with his voice. He's been here many times.
Yeah, he just lived in California, and now he's back. So
That is true.
Guess who's back?
Back again.
Tyler.
Yep.
And then
Anyway,
next to him is Phil. Phil, hello.
here I am, Phil.
That is him. And across from Phil is Jeff.
Yes, thank you.
You are also
I'm
familiar
actually
with-
sitting above Phil.
Yes.
I am
Geographically, same
Above.
elevation, though.
He's northeast.
I wanted the listener to think I'm sitting on top of him or something weird.
Yep, you're sitting on Phil.
Thank you.
It's not a very big room.
And then our special guest for tonight is Alex. Alex, hello.
Cheers, gentlemen. Sitting on top of someone. Why you want the audience to know that,
I don't know.
to communicate that just seems a little weird. Now I'm sitting next to you, and I don't know how I feel about that either.
We're going to start out with making Jeff feel a little introverted. Let's go ahead.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We are going to talk about some things tonight. Our main topic will be drilling Alex about all of his expertise. But for now, we are going to start with some news. But before we start with the news articles,
Oh, great.
Chicken.
as a reminder,
Oh.
if you're just joining us for the first time on this show, you may not be familiar with our website, which is AmericanForked.com. AmericanForked.com. You can go to there and find our most favorited and most listened to episodes. Or just listen to episode 1. In the introduction, we tell you which ones to go to. Listen to those, and you'll love us. And then you'll listen to all of them.
That's right.
Or
And
not.
actually, don't listen to the first handful.
You'll do
They're
what
terrible.
you want, no matter what.
I love those ones.
What
So-
is the most listened one episode?
This one.
It's
This one?
actually
Is it the race one?
no. So the most listened to is actually the one we did a few weeks ago with Ben, where he talked about aliens.
Yeah, shout out to Ben.
We had like almost twice as many listeners
So
as any
6.
other episode. Yeah, like we
Ben
had like
who?
six
Six
listeners.
listeners.
Ben,
12.
you know Ben, my business partner. Ben Meekum.
Ben Meekum.
Oh yeah, I just talked
Yeah.
to Ben today earlier. Actually,
Oh, that's funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came on and talked to us about growing up in the Mojave Desert. So Mojave Lights, go listen to that show.
Yeah,
It's
it's a good one.
I like that.
Oh, Jake, were you doing something?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, hi, Jake.
Also follow us on the Instagrams and the Twitters and the Facebooks
On the gram.
at American Forked. And we will post when we come out with a new episode. You can call our voicemail line or text it. It's 385-DAD-0-MUG. And send us anything that you want to be on the show. If you
Like
want. Yes.
Kitten.
I know what I'm doing on my Friday nights at 1:30 in the morning.
We enjoy
Yeah.
reading the texts that we get.
Drunk dial us, please.
I want the voicemail. I play.
Or the voicemail.
Yeah.
It'll go right to voicemail. It doesn't ring. You don't have to worry about someone picking up. But if you do want to talk to somebody,
All
we'll
the
get you
things you
Jeff's. We'll get you Jeff's phone number,
That's
and
right.
he'll be your friend.
I will talk to you, but all the things you don't want when you call someone, we're not going to answer. It's not going to ring. It's just going to be a voicemail. Okay,
Just
I love it.
to talk
Okay,
to nobody. I think that's it for housekeeping. So 3 weeks ago, Phil. Well, what was it? Was it 5 weeks ago or so?
Oh,
a month and a
Phil-
half ago,
Phil breaks the AI?
We started a new
Oh,
segment
yeah.
called Phil Cracks the AI.
Yeah, that's right.
We didn't come up with a new name on it, but that's good enough. Phil Cracks the AI AF.
Phil AF's the AI. Is that what it was?
And,
Sure.
And the first time he presented his Costco card on the show, we didn't say anything about it, and we wanted to see if artificial intelligence
right.
reads your mind and as a result will advertise to you
Right.
For the
things that
guest-
you're thinking about.
For the guest and the listener that thinks we're crazy, because we've talked about, does AI read your mind, and like
Right.
do they advertise things? So we showed
Specifically,
something
like-
on the podcast, but
like-
didn't say what it was.
Yeah, and when he says AI, we're thinking like Google, Facebook, Instagram, any of those things that are listening to you. right?
the data gatherers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we showed an item to see if we get any increased whatever. Anyway, it was kind of a bust.
Interesting.
But Jake,
Yeah, we didn't find any nothing came out of that one. But then the second time we did it, Phil held up something and I forgot what it was. But we couldn't communicate back and forth after the show what it was. And
So wait, you didn't remember from the hints I sent?
Mm-mm.
Oh. So,
Yeah, it's in orange.
So it was orange peels, wasn't it?
yeah, it was like an,
Oh,
it was
okay.
like a nectarine, no. What are they called? The little tiny
Little
oranges.
clementine.
Clementines, yeah.
So I didn't get anything from that one.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
either.
So I think we can definitively say, at least so far, that Google isn't actually reading our minds.
Right.
You're speaking too soon.
But you have to say something out loud. So if we say like clementine orange, clementine orange, clementine orange, then in theory, all of us are probably going to see some ads, and maybe the listeners too, if you're listening to this in your car where your phone can hear
I see they're using the Beetlejuice rule. You guys say
You have
3
to-
times.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, say it 3 times.
Well, we all know the Clementine Mafia too is pretty big. Like, right?
The mafia.
No, the Clementine Mafia.
You boys
Never
know
mind.
way more about fruit than I do. So
Yeah.
I'm not trying. I would have just said orange.
Yeah.
I
Small
do need to
orange.
share some information on that for you. It's
Oh,
an update
okay.
as of last night.
Oh, all right.
So I was showering for
Okay.
the first time in a week
Okay.
That's really good.
Got a
Jake.
boy.
because I
You work from home.
work from home.
You-
My commute does not require me putting on socks or underwear. So anyway, sometimes I go days without showering. I showered. Anyway, I was showering last night and I was having a conversation, a debate in my head about
Hard. Oh,
hard water.
about hard water.
Oh, okay.
And how hard water, you know, when you dry off, you feel like your skin gets all dry and all of the minerals and stuff in the soaps and everything don't work well with the hard water, and so your skin gets dry. Anyway, so I was having this like thing in my head about hard versus soft water.
And
I
then you
got out
saw
of the
it.
shower and I opened up my phone. The first thing I saw on Instagram was that picture right there.
Phil, describe it.
And that-
So it's a person holding their hand out with water falling into it, and it says in a blue caption, "Hard versus soft water, which is better?"
Yeah.
So you
It's clear
you
it's an
got
ad.
It's
It's
a
an ad.
sponsored
Right,
ad
it's
on
an ad.
Instagram from New Water Technologies.
that read your mind.
It looks refreshing.
Why would I see that?
Yeah, and see, this has happened to me before, which is why I did this experiment. But now I'm thinking, if it's smart enough to read your mind, isn't it smart enough to go, "Oh, they're trying to fool me"? Obviously, I won't show them the ad that they're thinking
Right.
about.
They
Right?
want to show us Costco ads.
Exactly.
But they won't.
I have
like
another
This
theory.
will be on
I feel like we need like the X-Files theme music playing
Yeah.
as a sound bed right now, just in the
Do,
back.
do, do,
Phil will
even
do
it.
his
do, do.
I have a theory.
rendition of it.
Okay.
And we can do this next time, or this time if you guys want to. I think you have to be completely naked. Jake was completely naked when the AI picked up
Oh,
on
right.
it, right?
Yeah, so I found that
no
that variable.
You guys game? No.
That constant
no?
works.
Maybe
okay,
the
like-
water was a conduit.
Ooh.
So you didn't say anything. Though,
I
right?
like it.
I didn't say there
You
was.
didn't say anything
I
to
may
your
have-
wife or
Sometimes I talk to myself out loud, but I guess,
Oh, okay. You were
but I
singing.
I know I didn't say anything.
Jake's
out loud.
singing in the shower.
wasn't
What
singing
is better, hard water or soft?
After this advertisement's like frozen.
And he also said, "Okay, Google, what's better, hard or soft water?"
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Okay.
maybe what I did, and I forgot.
Never mind.
So we have now for local news.
Mhm.
Earlier this week, there wasn't really anything, but there have been a couple things about American Fork that I found.
Oh, yeah.
So American Fork is having their citywide green waste cleanup. It's occurring April
gosh.
23rd through the 30th.
Oh,
Stories are so painful.
And anyone who wants to join in and making American Fork clean can clean their neighbors' yards or something. It doesn't really say
my
if they're
gosh.
meeting somewhere.
That's
or
so
whatever.
cool.
join as neighbors.
But they're
to
offering
beautify.
free green waste coupons to North Point Solid Waste.
Wow.
Is that in
Linden.
Provo?
That's the
it's
Linden one.
it's the Linden dump.
So
So you just load up your own green waste and take it to the dump like you normally would.
yeah,
But-
do it for your neighbors too.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's so cool.
That sounds American.
What's the next story?
Forky. Oh, I love that.
That's about
I
it.
hate it. Are you kidding?
Just
It's
thought
the
it was
dumbest story ever.
It's
some
good, Jeff.
news in American Fork people might
Hey,
want
it's
to know
American
about.
Fork News.
At
Calm
least
down.
you found
It's fine.
something. I'll give you kudos for
You know,
that.
you know what I love about the government is they charge you to take that green waste there, and then they grind it up and sell it back to the population.
Right.
Why
They
don't-
just mix poop in there and it's fertilizer.
You'd think at the very least they wouldn't charge you to bring it because they're selling it and making money off of it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Next, American Fork based or an American Fork related article is called "Two Local Sisters Qualify for World Irish Dance Competition."
Okay, time out. Literal sisters or church sisters?
Two literal sisters.
Sister wives.
Sister wives?
They're Adelia and Britanna Roberts.
In American Fork?
Well, they're from Midway, but they qualified at the Harp Irish Dance Company in American Fork
Love that
to
company.
go to the. Let me see if I can.
That's my favorite Irish dance company.
Are you
by the
ready
way.
for this?
Top 5.
They're
Definitely
headed to Belfast, Northern Ireland,
God damn.
to compete in the Coimisium Lerenci Galakia 50th Annual
I think you-
Oriactus Reina na Gwini World Irish
That's-
Dance Championship.
That's
What is-
not even
what
a
is Irish?
sentence that you just said.
No,
That
that
was-
sounds right.
That was too that was too Scottish, I think.
It may have been a
Isn't
little bit.
Ireland like you talk like this, in Ireland?
What is an Irish dance?
It's like river dance.
River
the
dance.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
river dancing.
okay.
Clogging and tapping and things. You dance with your
Clogging the toilet with
shoes.
You've never
Making
seen Lord of the
this.
Dance?
No.
Come on.
river dance.
No.
Man's missing out on life.
I am. apparently.
Yeah.
Dirty dancing?
Time of my life. Come on.
You know Kevin Bacon?
I do.
Okay, we're
They,
onto
they
something.
film Footloose here.
That's
in Lehigh.
dancing.
Yeah.
Did they
We're
really?
starting out with
Yeah.
dancing.
That's
I didn't
what
know
I
that.
read right there.
Oh my gosh, Phil, read that.
A communal Riki Galakia 50th Eroikia Srinknad Kruinia.
That just sounds like swears.
What is that? Is that Gaelic? Is that what they call
Okay,
That's
okay.
gotta be Gaelic.
Calm down, Phil.
it? Gaelica.
Is there a photo of them? Let's see what they look like.
Oh yeah,
There are some photos.
Phil, describe the photo.
There are two young women in what I assume are dance costumes standing in front of a river in Belfast because there's a giant sign that says Belfast.
Yeah.
Yep.
Assume
Well,
our dance.
good luck
What
to
else
the
could it be?
sisters.
Yeah, good
Proper
luck.
dinner
Good luck.
attire.
I'm glad that those non-American Fork natives went to a dance company in American, Fork and then are now in Belfast.
Sister Roberts. Good luck.
Good luck, sisters.
Utah statewide. Calling All Artists is the name of this one. You guys know what that might be?
That's a lot of phone numbers.
State art
Calling-
The
competition.
state of Utah is changing the state flag.
No way.
No.
So they are accepting submissions.
What's wrong with
from
it now?
people to, I don't know. They're just changing it.
I think it's racist.
Bees are offensive.
Bees are
Yes.
very.
Yeah.
I've said that for years.
Is that what it is? It's bees. It's a beehive on
I
it.
have one here.
It's probably because that's a Mormon thing, and they're like, we're not. all
Beehives are a
Mormons
Mormon
now.
thing?
Well, not beehives.
Wait a second. Do they count all bees as Mormons?
Okay,
And that's why the numbers are so high.
Does the article say why that's changing?
It does not, I don't think. Spencer Cox, Henderson, lawmakers launched statewide initiative. Legislature passed bill year creating task force to redesign Utah's flag. At events across the state, Utah's Department of Culture and Community Engagement
I don't think anyone wants to hear this.
with solicit ideas from people to make it better.
Go Google it if you want
So
to actually
people
know.
want to make the flag better because it's old.
What
I
our
think
listeners
that's
want to
big.
know is
That's-
what.
Anyway,
That's big news.
It is
through-
big news.
Through April 30th, they are accepting submissions, and then on May 30th, they'll have professional artists hired to create the designs based on the submissions that people have sent them. And I think
You should have
September
your kids submit
15th,
something.
they'll
I'm gonna-
announce the official
Was this on a
new
ballot?
state flag.
I don't know. Maybe they just decided they were going to do
I
it.
didn't vote for it.
I kind of feel like this would be something, at least a vote would have to come down to see if there's interest, not just at the discretion of the governor.
Yeah.
Kind of seems like a big deal. I mean,
Governor
Yeah.
got in office was just like, I don't like the flag.
Well, on July
fuck
30th,
this flag.
on the July 30th,
Fucking hate bees.
the design review subcommittee will select 10 finalists, which will be posted to the flag.utah.gov website for public comments.
Has this been done before?
No,
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I can
Last
tell.
time the flag was changed was, can't remember the date, but it was a long time ago. They put the gold ring around the beehive.
the beehive.
that's on
Right.
it.
I think we should do a 3-dimensional flag. We need to figure that out somehow. Instead of just a floppy thing hanging on the flagpole, like some kind of 3-dimensional,
like a beach ball.
You need a VR headset to see it.
just a beach ball on a string.
I can already tell you what I'm going to draw is Brigham Young with like a rainbow colored mohawk coming down off the mountain with like a
A marijuana leaf in one hand.
marijuana leaf and what else?
Mine's just going to say
An
fuck
AR-15.
Mormons, So,
Oh,
Yeah, that seems a little off.
yeah.
oh, sorry.
Don't you
My
think?
bad. You can edit that out.
Welcome to Utah.
Still 60-something% of the state may not like that. Welcome to Utah.
I like that. Welcome to Utah.
There you go.
That's the flag.
Welcome.
Next statewide item is there's a study that says that Utah was the best state at handling the pandemic.
Yeah, boy.
Are
Oh.
you kidding me?
By not doing anything.
A recent study published
Exactly.
as a working paper by the National Bureau of Economic Research seeks to compare COVID-19 economic and health trajectories in 50 states and DC. Their ranking is based on 3 measures: the economy. They used many variables and adjusted for state industry; education, which include lost days in school; and COVID mortality adjusted for state population age and prevalence of obesity and diabetes.
And how good we looked doing it.
So the bottom 5 states
Ooh, here we go.
were ranked from better or from worst to best. Of the bottom 5, New Jersey was the worst
Ooh,
Of course.
at a negative 3.61 rating.
the horse state.
DC was
Garden
next. Then New York, New Mexico, and California was the 5th worst.
California was on
California, yeah.
the list. Wow.
But the top 5 states were South Dakota with 2.08 score.
Well, there's
Because no one lives there. Yeah.
because
Go
no
on.
one lives
Whoa,
there. And
whoa.
it
It's because
doesn't-
of their policy, okay? They adjusted for population. Come on. Are you not hearing the article being read?
They kicked on.
So if it's a 5-person state, it doesn't matter. Montana was next, then Vermont, then Nebraska, and Utah was the highest with 3.64 rating.
How much money are you putting in this COVID jar, Jake?
I just put $75 in it.
Okay.
What is the COVID jar?
Whoever brings up COVID has to pay money.
Oh,
Oh,
Because
yeah.
we don't talk about COVID.
We don't
No,
talk
no.
about COVID.
my God. Do you guys remember in January, February, when they put that 30-day for the Omicron?
Yeah.
I was at a convention.
Flatten
doing
the curve or whatever.
Yeah. We knew nothing about it, but they're like, we're doing it anyway. Only Salt Lake County. And I was at a home show. It's a 3-day event. First day we get there, it's Friday. Fine. They're like, it goes into effect at midnight, guys, just to let you know. So for the rest of the weekend, everyone's got to wear masks. And we're like, well, that sucks. So I showed up the next day because I was there for the weekend doing a real estate thing. And I got my mask in my pocket, but I don't say anything. And I go through and they're like, sir, do you have a mask? I was like, oh, yeah, it's over there. They're like, oh, just make sure you put it on when you get in. I was like, you got it. And I walked in and I didn't. But it was interesting because you would see in the morning, right? Show opens at 10, it ends at like 7 p.m. You would see 80 to 90% of people walking around with masks. Now, they were not supposed to be admitted if they didn't have one. I had a booth, so I had a special fast pass, to get past.
Fast. It's like you're in Disneyland.
Yeah, exactly. I had the multi-pass from the Fifth Element.
Genie Plus.
But as the day progressed, it went from 80% of people walking around
Right.
wearing it to 70, 60. By Sunday, 20% of people were wearing masks.
And everyone's just naked making out.
naked out. Yeah.
Sneezing on each other.
And this was 2 days after the mandates went into effect. So
Yeah.
you saw quickly the shift of people going, oh, it's a mandate put on by, the mayor. And then just a handful of days later, fuck this.
Yeah,
and
that's bullcrap.
they went back to doing what they were doing. And now we know Omicron is highly contagious, low symptoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's real funny that you brought that up because I actually completely forgot about that mandate since they announced it. Like the next day, I had forgotten and didn't remember it until just now. So I totally missed that whole thing.
I'm so glad you survived, though.
Yeah.
I don't know about
okay.
you. I love wearing masks.
Do ya?
Even now.
Yeah.
Don't have
Yeah.
to fake smile at people.
Mask fetish.
I'll tell you what, my
Yeah.
daughter has braces, and she wears a mask all the time.
Oh,
And some people don't even know she has braces.
I can tell this man grew up liking Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
That's true.
No, seriously, like it's cold outside.
I actually do enjoy it in
Mortal
the
Kombat
cold
joke.
when it's like blowing real cold.
Yep.
Yeah, it's nice. Other than that, I hate it. I struggle to wear a mask in my wood shop where I'm sanding small
When you're
particles
inhaling
and
harmful
spraying
smelling
like
dust.
lacquer and stuff. I hate doing that, and that's why I have so many sinus problems. But
I'm interested to see what my reaction would be if the state government whatever mandated pants. Like if they're like you have to wear pants, I'd probably be like, you know what, F this. I am wearing underwear only.
yeah,
I'm not wearing pants anymore.
Screw the pants.
Okay.
That's my motto right now, actually.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yep, that was my
You are
input.
wearing pants right now, though, right?
We know where this man
Oh
stands.
yes,
yeah,
I've been talking about getting naked a lot on this show.
You
huh?
have.
Sorry,
you really
guys.
have.
I've noticed.
must be warm. in
And
there.
and encouraging it for everybody else in the room.
We've noticed that you're taking your clothes off right now.
And you want to know that you're sitting on top of other men.
What's the next story?
Worldwide.
Oh,
Kind of worldwide. Gilbert Gottfried died yesterday.
Oh.
I saw that, yeah.
Wait a sec. Remind me who he is. Is he
Voice
animated?
of Iago.
Aladdin.
You gotta talk like this.
That's a lot better.
Like the room doesn't have enough light.
Oh, he's annoying. I got it.
He's a long-time comic. Long time.
No, I know
the
who he is
Affleck
now.
duck.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Child.
forgot that.
You guys
He
remember
did the
Problem
duck.
Child?
How did he die? Oh, Problem Child. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Didn't they kick him off the duck gig because he said some offensive
Yeah,
joke? And,
something that was-
and they were like,
Something the left didn't like.
yeah,
so-
they're like, apologize. He's like, fuck off. And they're like, all right, well, you're losing the duck gig. And he's
Right.
like, I guess I'm losing the duck gig.
Get someone else to say Affleck.
I'm not a duck. This is terrible.
He
What
did
he
have
die
a
from?
unique voice, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
One of the
easily
most unique voices of,
recognizable. Yeah.
Yeah.
of all the comedians. Yeah.
And I watched Aladdin religiously as a child, so I'm very familiar with
Yeah.
his work. His greatest work was Iago.
I actually,
yeah.
when they made the live action Aladdin, I didn't like it obviously as much, but that was the number one thing I thought was missing. Was
his voice.
yeah, why wouldn't
Yeah.
they have got him to do it?
The biggest thing that was so
because
distasteful.
Disney doesn't like people.
Oh, because he was already canceled. you were
That's probably
saying.
the same reason.
Disney doesn't like its people. So
Probably,
they fuck you
probably
in
the
your
same
memories.
reason why they didn't get Tim Allen to do the new Buzz Lightyear, which is upsetting because I don't know how you can do.
Is he more conservative, Gilbert
He's-
Godfrey? Is
Oh,
that
I
why?
don't know.
Oh,
He said
He's-
something the left
it-
didn't like.
It's
so.
not that he's conservative by no means. It's just exactly he said something that they wanted
Not
an
necessarily
apology
the
for.
left, but the woke community.
Somebody was offended by it, and they want an apology. And I believe that's what it is. Don't quote me on it. I'm not 100, but yeah. And he was like, "No, I'm not going to do that because there's too many comics doing that, where they're just bowing.
apologizing.
They're just bowing to the pressure and apologizing."
So was he the one that got up and slapped Chris Rock? Is that the one?
No, that's
Different guy?
oh man, you know what? I see.
Also from
Truly,
Aladdin.
you see no color.
Also
You are a
from
man who sees no color.
He is a man without color.
No, that's melatonin. What's it called? Alopecia?
Alopecia.
Alopecia. That's the word I was looking for. Thank
Wait,
you.
do we know how he died?
Yeah, he died from a long time illness. So he's 67 years old.
Was it alopecia?
Oh man,
Fairly
that's
young.
young.
A long
Yeah.
time, not alopecia,
Thank God.
contrary to popular belief. The disease is called recurrent ventricular tachycardia due to myotonic dystrophy.
Of course.
Man, you've been given all the rough words today. I've noticed.
Yeah.
Myotonic dystrophy is type 2. Type 2 is an inherited muscular dystrophy that affects the muscles and other body stems, like the eyes that make you squint when you talk like this.
That's not funny, Jake. Don't make fun of the too man.
Too soon.
He's gonna haunt the studio.
I
That
think-
was terrible.
He's gonna haunt the studio.
He has some disease because he talks like this.
Oh, it makes you squint
you
your
squint.
eyes when you talk.
And scream? God, Jake.
I
But
think it's an unwritten rule. You can make fun of any comic at any time.
oh,
no
even
matter
after
what.
their death.
When they're deceased.
Yeah.
Or
Even if
alive,
it's-
they don't
even
care.
if it's 24 hours after they've died.
They would appreciate it. Let's be honest.
That's
Will Smith
unfortunate.
wouldn't, though. It
Yeah.
is. I love Gilbert Gottfried.
Well,
He's-
you see, Jada Pinkett Smith is not a comic, so you can't make fun of her at any time.
Oh,
neither is Will Smith. So
That he's
they're
not
off
funny.
limits.
Let's do some
He's-
awkward
he's
silence
said
right
funny
now.
things.
he got. Were you going to bring that up, Will Smith?
No, I was not.
Oh,
Did you
good.
have something? on
Well,
that?
yeah, I was just pointing out that he. What happened since we last talked about it?
I don't
Oh,
know.
the Academy kicked him out for
Oh,
10 years.
Yeah.
And he lost his contract with the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I heard.
Is it contract?
That's still going?
Yeah,
No,
season 73.
But I heard he did lose.
There's no way he can lose royalties from that.
I'm just
I mean, that's-
teasing. I'm
Yeah.
teasing.
Okay.
Yeah, he got kicked out for 10 years, right? He's a banned from going to the Oscars.
Yeah, or receiving awards.
So you
or
can't receive an award either?
I,
he can't?
I believe
Or can't just
so.
attend? Because he's so sporadic.
What is the entertainment industry going to do now?
Oh no!
It's not like that. It's a dying event. It's been losing like 50% of its viewership consistently the last
couple weeks ago,
5 years.
we talked about
Yeah.
how Phil's theory was
No, that's mine.
whether it was intended or not.
I think it's
set up,
100%.
set up or not.
Sure.
The Oscars, it was definitely positive for the Oscars because it, all the YouTube clips and all the networks that aired the Oscars
Oh, it's got more press
had
than
got
ever.
a lot of press.
Yeah, I can see like a conspiracy to any news is good news, right?
Yeah.
What's that called?
Yeah.
A conspiracy fact.
No, I know what you're talking about. Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah. There's no such thing as bad
That's the
press.
one. There's
Any
no
press
such
is
thing
good
as
press.
bad.
Yeah.
That's-
But truly, and the more this goes on, I go, it totally seems feasible that it was. So what if he's kicked off the Oscars for 10 years? You give him enough money, who cares?
Well, and is he really doing anything these days? He really-
Will Smith?
Yeah, he hasn't really exactly been, making bangers.
No,
Well, he was there for King William.
that's
Oh,
what he
that's
won
right.
for,
That's what
right?
he won for.
King Richard.
King
King
Richard.
Richard.
Yeah.
He was the father of two tennis players. That's who he played.
Yeah,
So-
the Williams twins.
Serena
Venus
and
Williams.
Venus.
And then he did Aladdin.
to be honest,
Aladdin was like 5 years ago.
But
though.
that was, it was
Yeah, he's
2
not
years ago.
really doing much.
But he hasn't done a whole lot not a big stuff since then. He did that one where he played two versions of him, like the younger version and the older version.
oh,
of himself.
multiplicity. Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
That was it.
Did
Did you guys cry at I Am Legend? Be honest.
Cry?
Yeah, because I did.
when the
Cry?
dog
When the
died.
dog died. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
I didn't cry, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Don't back out.
I
now.
didn't cry.
Promise.
I promise.
I didn't cry.
It may have been does choking up
Oh, that's what they're
include crying?
Yeah.
that's what they're
Is
doing.
that-
Yeah.
He's doing another I Am Legend, isn't
Oh,
he?
is he?
Is he
Yeah,
really?
the sequel.
Oh.
Is he now?
Which he died in the end, but apparently not, I guess.
Well,
they can always
it's a
do
prequel.
flashbacks.
Yeah.
Well, it
Yeah,
didn't
maybe.
actually show him dying.
That's right.
Well, and I think they're
There
actually
is an alternate ending that came out
right. Yeah.
where essentially he's like, "All right, zombie dudes, we're gonna talk, and you're not gonna run after me. And
Yeah, we're gonna be friends or
yeah,
something.
You're gonna be humane right now for this moment when you've spent all of your zombie existence eating on flesh."
Yeah.
I never saw that.
It was literally an alternate ending, like on the Blu-ray.
Exactly.
Why don't you Blu-rays?
on the HD and HD DVD.
Such archaic technology.
Laser disc.
I got it on my laser. That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard if you fast forward the credits on the beta, on the Betamax, it'll show you at the end.
Because they have it on data.
Good Lord, I didn't stop at Walmart on the way back, go to the $5 bin and get me that movie. Nice stream everything.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anything else on Will Smith?
No,
That's
that was it.
No,
Can't go to the Oscars for 10 years.
Yeah.
God.
Sad day.
So slap on the wrist.
National news, another one. 2 days ago, there was a shooting in Brooklyn
Yep.
Yeah.
on a subway. According to CNN, this article I'm seeing, there were 10 people shot, but initial reports were 13 to 16. So somewhere around 10-ish people were shot, and I don't think anyone died.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least as of yesterday, there were no deaths, which is good. So a guy walked into a subway and with a gas mask on and like a construction vest and threw smoke bombs and started firing a firearm.
In a state where it is notoriously difficult to have a firearm.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Yes. So it's very easy for a criminal to commit an assault with a weapon and not get caught. Anyway, his face was all over the news, and he was sitting in a McDonald's just today, and he called the police and said, "I'm Frank James. I'm the one that committed this crime."
I'm eating a
And he got arrested. Yeah.
I'm eating a McBitchin right
So-
now.
He said, "Come and get me," right?
I said, "Come and get me." He realized that he was done with
Running.
So he's now arrested. I haven't
Good.
heard anything new since that, but that was earlier today.
I hope he
think.
rots.
Who would want to live in that city? Good.
There's
New York.
There's a few million people I could.
Yeah, it's what sounds like every day this is going on. So
It's crazy. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I would not want to live there, and I have family that's lived in.
Look,
Staten
here's this
Island.
old lady just getting the shit beat out of her because she was there. Like,
She was there.
well, that's it. It's not like
Yeah,
she
it's-
said anything
Yeah.
or, tossed a beer can out the window. No, she was just there.
There are a lot of crazy people that live there.
There's so many people that there's obviously going to be more crazy
Yeah.
people there than
Yeah.
anywhere. I mean, if we have like
most
3
big
million,
cities.
we have 3 million
That was
people
deep. That was
in
deep, Jeff. That was deep.
Thank you. If there's 3 million people in the entire state of Utah, and then there's 3 million people on like the downtown Salt Lake area of New York City, like, yeah, there's going to be a little more condensed crazy.
Mm-hmm.
If you brought all the crazy from rural Utah to one city, it'd be the same. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so many people.
It's called Vernal.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there.
Plus, it smells, right?
Yeah, Brooklyn smells.
New York.
Yeah.
No,
Same.
I hate, and every city has this, but they have like sewer vents, so you'll be like walking along and like, oh, get a whiff of like fresh sewage.
I haven't
You don't
experienced.
know what I'm talking
I
about?
never
haven't
experienced
experienced
that
that
here.
in Salt Lake. No.
Oh, I'm just assuming it's in Salt Lake, but maybe they vent their systems in a better way.
They
But
HEPA filter.
but that's like my
Yeah.
number one memory of New York, because like sewage.
New York is just dirty.
Yeah.
Those
Did
poor
you-
turtles.
turtles.
Yeah, the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what sports team is the turtles?
Turtles and the rats,
they live in the sewers.
the rhinoceroses,
New York.
Turtles
Yeah.
and a half shell. Turtle power.
the
Exactly.
Bebop and Rocksteady. is
That's
that-
right. Yeah, I know.
that's
I know now.
Our bowling names, Jeff. You still use?
I know.
the bowling
Bebop
name
and Rocksteady. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one I used, but
Boys go
Rocksteady
way back.
Bebop.
I can see.
yeah.
So
Rocksteady.
anyway, this guy shot a bunch of people. They're all alive.
Was there any motive? Was there
Terrible shot.
any?
I don't know yet.
I think they said they can't figure a motive. I think he was posting some extreme things, quote unquote, on
Just a crazy.
Instagram, something like that. Yeah, but they couldn't find like an exact motive. I think he said he did it because of racism and something
Boredom.
else, but they don't know if that's really why. I don't know.
It's probably
I don't know what
video
that
games
means.
and Marilyn Manson.
Probably
Yeah, most likely.
just rent in New
TikTok.
York. He was pissed about the rent.
Yeah, just
I
I
knew,
got-
of renting a studio.
I got evicted.
I knew this would happen when the people started listening to that rock and roll music.
I know.
Yeah.
It's probably Led Zeppelin.
Whippersnapper.
We're going in the wrong direction as a country.
He heard his first Marilyn Manson, and that's why. Wasn't that what they were
Yeah.
saying during Columbine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Video games and Marilyn Manson.
Those boys listened to Marilyn Manson.
He watched The
That's
Matrix.
why. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, that does it.
Okay.
Anyway, so hope that gets better. Hope he goes to prison.
Well, yeah,
What's
I'm interested to find out what his motives are, and now that he's arrested, obviously he's not committing crimes anymore, so that's good.
I had a discussion with my wife where I was like, why am I inundated with this crap? And why do I care so much and have to have all the details about this crappy situation that
Yeah.
happened in New York?
Yeah,
And genuinely, why do we need to know that right now? Like here in Utah, where we're at, why do we need to have the details of how many people got shot, how many people survived, how many didn't, what the guy's name was, how he got arrested, what his motives were? Do we need to know that?
because as humans, it bleeds, it leads. Like we just inherently want to know why someone would do something like this, or how many people were affected and stuff like that.
I wonder what the number of people is, though, because we don't hear about a drive-by in LA or anything like that. But it seems like, I don't know what the threshold is. Maybe it's like 5 Like,
what
There was
what
a-
number makes headline news?
yeah, like national news.
Well, there was a shooting in
Right.
Sacramento like 2 weeks ago
There
too.
was.
Yeah.
How many people?
I don't know. I just
Oh.
I don't.
Oh,
I
there
saw
were.
there was a
I didn't even
shooting.
hear
It was
about
like
it.
20 something.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
In Sacramento, a
Sacramento.
couple weeks ago.
It was a week ago.
And the
I
only
think.
reason why I know this is because on Facebook,
Just saw
Facebook
it.
friends will say like mark themselves safe from the Sacramento shooting. And
Oh.
then mark themselves safe from like the Brooklyn shooting.
Because you had
So,
friends in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't mark. Am I supposed to get on social media and mark myself safe from the Brooklyn shooting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Otherwise, you'll
yeah.
be shot.
What? That seems
what it
ridiculous.
That's the rules.
Okay. Better sign up for Facebook again.
No, but I agree. Like it wasn't
God, I hate
national
Facebook.
news. I didn't see it on anything else. So that was.
Oh, you just saw it through social
I
media.
just saw it through social media.
Yeah, that's weird.
He's like, shooting in Sacramento. Not worth my time. Keep scrolling. This isn't a TikTok.
I'm like, who do I have a friend there?
I need this TikTok
I
form.
guess I have a friend there.
Isn't there a TikTok trend I can be watching right now?
I hate TikTok.
So do
I
I.
hate a lot of things.
We'll find out
I'm
what
just
you
a
like.
man full of hate.
We'll find out what you're a veteran. You can do whatever you want.
That's true.
Yeah. You can hate anything.
All right,
You're
fair
a
enough.
veterinarian? That's awesome.
Easy.
Final worldwide news.
I
Thank
love
God.
animals, but not that
Can
much.
we end?
So in major reversal, Elon Musk is not joining Twitter's board.
Good.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, I heard about that.
So Elon Musk, as we talked about before, purchased 9.4% of Twitter's Twitter stock,
An ass load.
which made him the largest single owner of Twitter stock. And there was talk about him because he's now like a huge stock owner joining the board of Twitter. And
Yeah.
He was going to, and then he decided not to, and they essentially kind of parted their, went their separate ways.
Why do we care?
This one's important, I think.
Well, yeah. I mean, recently Elon Musk has come out and said that I think the wokeness society and censorship are the greatest downfall of society, or something to that effect. And Twitter has had a lot to do with that that direction that social media is moving into.
So did you want to cancel Twitter?
He wants to censor Twitter.
No, I think he actually wants to do the opposite, like keep everything going. Because when he was talking about the internet over Ukraine and Russia, right? He
Yeah.
was talking about the satellites that are going to do internet. Anyway, he was talking
Skylink,
about
yeah.
he's not going to censor either side.
Right.
Like,
Right.
You're going to have to Russia has every right to put out whatever propaganda they want.
He's been a proponent of free information from.
Period.
Did you see why he turned down the board position?
I didn't see why, but my guess is I know that if you're on Twitter's board, your stock ownership is capped at 14.9%.
That was part of it. The other part was he would have to sign NDAs and fiduciary duties to the company that state he cannot talk about certain elements of the company, certain algorithmic
Yeah, I don't
models
see
and
them liking
strategies
that
that
at
they're
all.
using.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk is like, yeah, no, I'm not going to sign
thanks.
this just to be part of the board and then be limited as far as what I can do. If he's not on the board, he can buy as much as he wants. He can do whatever he wants. He can share whatever he wants. And a man like Elon Musk, I don't think wants to be muzzled by any company.
No.
Yeah, no, he definitely wouldn't. So I wonder what his end goal is as far as, I mean, obviously he doesn't need the investment, right? Most people buy stock because of an investment. I'm sure he wants to have probably some say.
Yeah. So he spent $6 billion on that. Let's call it 10%. So to get to 51%, he's got some billions left to go. So unless
But people can buy stock and then basically proxy their interest, their control to an individual.
Oh, okay.
So let's say I'm a, multi-millionaire and I want to buy a couple of stocks, a couple of $1 million. And I'd be like, all right, my voice, I'm proxying to Elon. Elon makes the decisions
Oh, interesting.
based on me. So Elon might only own, let's say 20% in a year, but he gets enough people that own and proxy their vote to him. Then he becomes 51% control.
Takes control.
Yeah. By representing the other investors in
Next
the company.
thing, then he's going to be sending Twitters up into space.
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
Yes.
I think
Oh,
I think they're already
how it
doing
is.
that.
Okay.
Well, cool.
It's a tweeter. You don't
Tyler's
even
bored.
You don't even care
Twatter.
that Elon Musk is taking over Twitter.
I don't even
don't
have a
care.
Twitter account,
Oh, I don't either.
so
He doesn't tweet.
I do, but I don't use it.
Yeah.
It confuses me.
I think we have a Twitter account as
do.
a podcast. We
I
probably posted on it once.
I post on Instagram and it shares to Facebook and Twitter. I don't
Thank
traditionally
goodness.
use it for any
Smart
other
man.
purpose than just say, "Hey, we have a new episode."
Oh, yeah.
Listen to it.
So go to our Twitter thing.
You
People.
can follow it, and you'll be notified when we have
Yeah.
a new episode.
What else?
So today's main topic is what's next.
All right.
Ooh.
We have a guest here. His name is Alex Castro.
Hey.
Just in the hour that I've got to know him, I've found that he has his hands in many different pots throughout his life. He was introduced to me by Jeff as a concealed weapons instructor. He is a real estate agent. Is that correct? He's in the real estate industry
Real estate agent and a loan officer.
and a loan officer. Wow, you got both. Sweet.
Yeah.
And also a business partner of Jeff.
Nope.
Nope.
He
That's
wishes.
He, business acquaintance.
He wishes is right.
We have a mutual friend who is his business partner.
Yeah.
Okay. And a military veteran. Marine
Correct.
Corps veteran?
Marine Corps. Yeah.
Awesome. Hoorah.
That's the Army.
Semper Fi.
Yep.
There we
Don't.
go.
Semper, Semper Fi works.
Okay. God, Jake, you're stabbing in the
Jeez.
dark there.
Good Lord.
Using all of them. My dad was in the Marine Corps.
Hoorah is,
And you
is
say
the
with
Army?
and you say it with an H.
Ooh,
No.
yeah, Jake.
Yes.
Is it?
is it?
Wait,
okay,
I'm
then-
confused.
yeah.
What is the Marine Corps?
So it's
Yell.
it's Ura.
Ura,
So there's no
okay.
H.
Okay.
No
more-
H.
the
The
more-
H is silent.
Right. The more guttural and from the heart, say it with your chest kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Now, is that offensive for non-Marine Corps people to even say?
No, it's
or-
not offensive.
okay.
It's just
You,
pathetic.
you just look at people like they're idiots.
right. Just like when people call me a soldier, they're like, "Oh, soldiers." I'm like, "No,
Yeah.
soldiers are in the Army.
Oh, okay.
We're Marines. We're
Yeah.
completely different."
Got it.
They're better.
Yeah.
Yeah, Germans gave us a nickname in World War One, Taufenhunden, which means devil dog. 'Cause they're like, yeah, it's like the Hounds of Hell got released because in Bella Wood they charged the Germans with bayonets. It's one of the most famous stories in the war.
Wow.
The Marines were pinned down, outnumbered, outgunned. They ran out of ammo. And then the commander's like, bayonet up, boys. And they're like, all right. And they just charged the machine gun nest. The French and the Germans had never seen anything like it. They're like, they didn't comprehend
They didn't
like
know how to react.
how are they charging with you got stabbed. And now they named that whole forest. It's actually, there's a big Marine Corps like memorial and dedication to it. And then the French awarded the Marines a couple of divisions, the French Fourragère, which is a sexy looking green lapel thing with a pin that comes down. And a lot of history,
Yeah.
a lot of cool history.
Yeah. My understanding is that the Marines are pretty much the fighting force of the U.S. military, like the infantry, I guess you'd say, like the ones you send in on the ground to do the most fighting. Is that an accurate?
If you want the job done correctly, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want everything dead and pregnant. No. So the Marine Corps,
in that order.
the Marine Corps is the smallest branch of the military, right? We're very, very small, but it's often referred to as the tip of the spear.
Right.
So we're the penetrative force, but we can't hold.
Oh, okay.
So in a campaign, for example, they'll send in the Marine Corps or the airborne to take over an area, but they can't hold it for very long. We don't have artillery. We don't have manpower for that. So typically what happens, the Marine Corps comes by, kills everything, takes a town, a city over, but it's only a matter of time before the enemy tries to take it back. The army rolls in behind, takes it, and then holds it.
Fortifies and holds the line.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's a value target that they want to keep, and they just keep going that way. The Army does engage in full on engagements as well, right? They're a very, very capable fighting force, but just the Marines can travel lighter, faster.
Yeah.
And typically there's more, mental illness and
In the Marine Corps.
in the
you're
Marine
saying?
Corps, that says, okay, yeah, let's go and
Charge up this hill with our bayonets.
right,
and- yeah.
exactly. So and
Mental
that's
illness. Either more courage, some people might say, or
sure.
is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
As a
Okay.
result of having served in such brutal circumstances,
Right.
Uh,
you're saying?
Whatever.
Before and after.
Yeah.
I think certain people typically they go, okay, I want to join the military. I want to serve my country. And they go, what do I want to do? And they go, wow, the Air Force looks pretty cool. And they go to the Air Force.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, I want to be on the front lines. I want to fight. Well, you got the Army and you got the Marine Corps. That's it. I mean, if you go to the Navy, unless you're a SEAL, you're going to have ships and subs and battle stations and all sorts of cool stuff. They have their own cool stuff, don't get me wrong. But if you want to be fighting force on the ground, you have the Marine Corps and you have the Army. Now, tradition is going to dictate most of your decision. My grandfather was Army. My father was Army.
Right.
My so-and-so was Marine Corps. That dictates a lot of where people go.
Yeah.
Outside of that, they go, okay, the Marines are kind of crazy bastards. I want to go that route.
Yeah.
Or, I just want to be a badass soldier. I listen to American Soldier or whatever, whatever idea they have in their mind. And they join the Army and just, they try to go airborne or different things like that in the Army.
Was G.I. Joe Army or Marine Corps?
G.I. Joe was fictional.
What about Jada Pinkett Smith?
Say
I mean,
what?
G.I. Jane.
G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe is Army. What's a soldier?
G.I. is an Army soldier.
Like the cartoon, like the fiction.
No, the real... I think that it's fake. I think you're right.
Yeah, it
it's
is.
fake.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Now you were now what?
Cancel that question.
Now what did your service or deployment or like? Because you're not active military now.
No,
So what?
as evident by my long, luscious hair.
Yeah. So when were you involved and what? How were you involved?
So I went in 2009
Okay.
was when I enlisted, when I got out of high school. I was in the infantry, but I was part of FAST company or FAST unit, which stands for Fleet Anti-Terrorism Security Team.
Mm-hmm.
We were stationed out at Norfolk, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And what that unit, the purpose of that unit was to retake embassies if they've been taken down
In other countries.
in other countries.
Okay.
That seems
So-
like super specialized.
It is.
That's so crazy.
We had our own airstrip, our own
Wow.
planes, because you could deploy at any minute. And so it was a lot of, we need to go in, retake this embassy, save whoever we can, and hold it until further instruction, right? Ideally, what you want is it was a riot type situation, and that country's own military or that country's own police force is going to come in and quell it out,
Yeah.
extinguish that riot, that fire. If it's an uprising, like let's say the Taliban takes over again, right? It might be we're dipping out. We're going to get in there. We're going to take whatever assets are left, and then we're just going to leave it and abandon it.
Yeah.
Because an embassy has a shit ton of classified material, as well as whatever personnel, whatever Americans are there. So our job was to go in there and travel in light enough, because you can't bring a company in there or a battalion. You need to travel very light, get in there, retake the embassy, hold it, and then after that, just to wait for whether we're going to evac out of there or the Army is going to come and, get us a path out,
Yeah.
whatever the situation kind of dictates.
So you would typically go, I assume, in a helicopter to the embassy, or
There's different ways.
or you would go on the
Yeah.
ground too.
On the ground.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't get close to an embassy if there's hostile fire.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to land helos in that type of situation. So typically there would be a point outside, far away enough where that would be the start point, and then from there you would hike in.
So when was
They made sure we never got used to transportation.
yeah.
So we didn't have any cool, like, hey, take this and ride in. Like, no, you're hiking, because
You didn't-
chances are you're going to be hiking in wherever you're going.
You didn't have a stealth helicopter like the SEALs that got Osama or whatever.
No,
They used
no.
Blackhawks, didn't
Yeah.
What's that?
I thought they were like
They
special,
used Blackhawks.
top secret. At least in that movie I saw.
Zero Dark 30.
Yeah, weren't they like special stealth?
I didn't see the movie.
They might have been.
helicopter? Yeah.
I believe that they have that.
Yeah.
The military has a bunch of shit that we don't know about.
Yeah. Did you? So Benghazi was in 2012.
That's what I was
Was
going to
that
ask.
was that an embassy or was that was a diplomatic facility? Right.
Yeah, Benghazi was a whole other situation because SEALs were there.
Oh, okay.
And that shit went south pretty quick. So
Yeah.
Yeah. It
that
did.
was
But
that wasn't a situation where we could have helped.
Oh, okay. But
So they were already SEALs, pretty much on the ground there in the area.
Yeah.
They took it over, or they took care of
So
it.
SEALs work in very interesting ways. Like, if you ever met a SEAL,
No.
they're fucking crazy. Like, I remember, because there's SEALs down in Virginia also, and by Norfolk. Norfolk's one of the largest naval bases. Those motherfuckers, they start their morning like going for a quick run, 10 miles.
yeah.
And that's just like their little warm up run in the morning before they start the day. And their dogs are mean as hell. Because we were by the kennels one time. We were going to the shooting range. The fucking dogs are mean
Yeah.
for no reason. No
they
one's
have-
fucking with them. They're just mean all the time.
They have dogs for like
Yeah.
like police dogs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Those dogs are freaking trained and they're mean. I watched the whole thing on it later.
They send
when
the
I got
police.
out.
They send the rejects from the SEALs to the police department.
The ones
I'm
that
just
don't
kidding.
pass the SEAL
Yeah,
test.
exactly. Because even police dogs, they're an awesome tool.
They are, yeah. To have that kind of quick, agile, be able to
Disciplined.
sniff things out, that
Yeah.
they can detect all sorts of things.
My dog's dumb, apparently.
Yours. Yeah.
Well, have you
Compared
been
to these
training
dogs,
them?
Yeah.
My dog chases his tail.
Just a well-adjusted, non-crazy dog.
Yeah, because a SEAL, as I understand it, if you become a Navy SEAL, you're almost guaranteed to fight. You know what I mean? Like
Oh, yeah.
to be in combat.
Yeah, they're not going to spend that much money not to have you.
Right.
To have you push a pencil.
Right.
Where a lot of other areas of the military, you might come close or whatever, but or you might never leave a desk type of thing. But
Sure,
a
yeah.
SEAL is like you're gonna fight.
You're a
Like,
special asset, so you are injected in strategic points to do whatever the mission might be.
Right.
Whether that's to fuck people up, whether that's to, sort of get intel on an area, get support for a certain thing. You're doing a lot of different things within the parameters of very top secret, or secret classified material. The same thing. There's elements in the Marine Corps, the Army, and the Navy that do that kind of things.
yeah.
Like, have you ever heard of like Delta Forces or
Yeah.
Recon?
Yeah.
So they go in, they're very specialized to do certain things.
Yeah.
The SEALs are just some of the best, which is crazy because have you heard where the SEALs originated from?
I don't think so.
Marines Corps?
No.
That side eye. That
Marine-
side eye, though.
The Marine.
The Marines originated from the Navy, actually. That's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But no, the SEALs were originally a combat force or like an engineering force. They were underwater explosives experts. So what SEALs would do is they would travel by like little, little tiny rubber flotation boat, whatever.
A dinghy.
Or some type of, yeah.
Tugboat.
And they would travel across and go underneath the enemy ship or enemy structure or whatever it is and set explosives and then get out and hopefully
Yeah.
not blow up.
Just sounds
and then
so awesome.
And
Yeah.
this was this during Vietnam or was
I
it
wanna say
World War?
before.
It was World War II maybe that they started
probably between World War II and
in
Vietnam.
Vietnam.
They're the ones
yeah.
you see in the movies, like that pop out of the swampy water with their night vision goggles and their rifles.
Yeah, they kill
Sneaking
you
up on the Viet Cong or whatever.
in training. Like they literally like drown you.
Yeah.
and bring you back. Like that's part of.
No way,
You
really?
can't- Yeah, you cannot be a SEAL unless you've done that.
Yeah, they actually you can watch it online, but they'll dive into the pool, and there's a couple like instructors down there that like push them down until they black out or pass out.
So they drown.
Yeah.
Yeah, they drown.
Literally drown.
And then they pull them out, and there's a doctor there that's like really good at reviving people because he does it like 50 times a day. And
Take this, that's all right.
Of course.
yeah, have it.
Thank you.
But when you're in the Marine Corps, there's in the training there's like a thing. Is it called the Gauntlet or Hell Week, or what's the thing that like in training in the Marines it really sucks? It's like some main activity. It might
It's like a period of time. It's like
Yeah.
3 weeks or something. Where
The
it's
Crucible. is probably what you're
Crucible, maybe.
thinking.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
that's what it is.
So the Navy has Hell Week.
That's what it. Yeah. Okay.
The SEALs, sorry, not
Yeah,
the Navy.
right.
The Navy has Dance Dance Revolution or whatever the fuck they have for basic training.
I thought that was Space Force.
No, sorry, that was the Air Force. That's a real story.
oh, Dance
Yeah,
Revolution.
back in like 2013, 2014, I heard about this. I was disgusted. They're like, oh yeah, the Air Force has decided to incorporate Dance Dance Revolution as a PT alternative for the Air Force. And I was like, how does this make any sense? Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
that's why they're called the Chair Force. But so it's called the Crucible. It's you do this at the end, towards the end of your time at boot camp.
Right.
So Marine Corps boot camp's 13 weeks. Everybody else is like 6 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
They keep us there extra long to make
Yeah.
sure we're very marinated in hate and saltiness. But you do, it's a 3-day event typically. You get like 2 MREs. Usually you're supposed to eat like 2 MREs a day. You get like 2 MREs for 3 days.
Right.
So you have to like ration out your food, and you know, you're very hungry. Then you have to do different obstacle courses, different endurance courses. You get like 2 hours, 3 hours of sleep a night. So it's just basically to push your stamina and to be able to overcome obstacles, challenges in a very fatigued state of mind.
Yeah.
So if you're dead tired, can you still get over a wall? Can you still drag ammo cans? Can you still drag somebody? Can you analytically see a puzzle and figure it out? And they're not hard, you know.
Yeah.
Can you work as a team even though you're super tired and probably mad at everybody? You know.
Yeah.
Can you work as a team? Can you work as a unit? And so East Coast, West Coast, they both do it. There's 2 training places in all of the United States. There's MCRD, which is in San Diego, and then there's Camp Lejeune.
Which
Sorry,
is-
Paris Island.
Oh, okay.
Camp Lejeune is a big base out there.
So why'd you enlist? Did we talk about that?
Why did I enlist?
Yeah, why did you do it?
Stupid. No, I enlisted. I always liked the military, you know, growing up, very patriotic, first generation American whoop. And my uncle, actually, when I was very young, he joined the Marine Corps, and he was in the first invasion of Iraq. So I kind of grew up with that as well, you know, hearing those stories. Funny, he went in as a mechanic. He went to school to be a mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
He got deployed to be a mechanic.
Yeah.
He got to Iraq. Well, he got to Kuwait, right? Because they staged in Kuwait before they punched into Iraq. And they're like, hey, we got too many mechanics and not enough machine gunners. Guess what, Torres? You're a machine gunner now. He's like,
That's
all right.
crazy.
He's like, okay. Now he's a machine gunner for the rest of the war.
Just
Right.
don't
Wow.
spray me.
But like when the statue went down that we all saw on TV, like he saw that live. Like he was
Wow.
inside the palaces in Iraq.
Front
Wow.
row seats.
So I got to hear a lot about this growing up, and I was like very inspired by that. When I was in high school, I did Air Force JROTC all through high school, so kind of got some fill in that. And then when I turned 18, I knew I didn't want to go to college. I knew college just sounded terrible. Like I hated high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
College just sounded like an even worse party. So
A high school you pay for.
what's that?
A high school that you pay for.
Yeah.
That's what college sounded like to me.
Right. And I mean, I could have get grants and scholarships and this and that. And I was just, it didn't seem like something I wanted to be part of. I didn't like the people I went to school with. So I wasn't like, oh, my homies. Like I had a very small select group of friends. I thought my generation was, you know, kind of dumb and impressionable. I still do. But so I graduated in 2009. And I didn't have a whole lot of options at that point, right? Not like I had a full-fledged career that I could rely on. And I really liked this girl, wanted to have a future with her, wanted to get married. So I thought, go active duty, you know, be good. And like I was saying earlier, my uncle was in the Marine Corps. No other family had served in the military. So when it came down to choosing what branch, I said, all right, Marine Corps it is. They got the best uniforms. They got, the like, the respect is there for anyone who's a Marine.
Cool swords.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got cool swords.
Mamelukes.
Those are officer swords.
Yeah.
And we have NCO swords as well. So for like corporals, sergeants, and above.
Oh, they're different swords for your rank or whatever.
Yeah, so enlisted has a certain sword, which used to be the old Army officer sword. They're like, well, we don't want this anymore. Like, we'll take it.
The Marine Corps are like, yeah, those are cool.
Do you guys remember the old Marine commercials? Join the Marine Corps.
The proud.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You don't see those around anymore.
You don't see
That's still,
commercials
that's still in a lot of posters. But
And,
the Mameluke sword was given to us by, I think he was the king of Haiti. Because we went in there, we fucked shit up.
I thought they were French.
No,
From the French, I guess not.
no.
Well, Haiti's kind of French.
So how many years did you serve? Is it, I mean, active?
I just did one tour. I did
Just
not
one.
re-enlist.
And what is that? Is that 2 years?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah,
okay.
so typically there's just a 4-year commitment.
Gotcha.
Wow.
After that, I got out. I drank a lot. I got divorced. I ended up leaving my desert of Phoenix, and I moved to Vernal, Utah.
So do you think being in the Marine Corps had anything to do with that? Like getting out and drinking and
Oh, sure,
yeah.
So the Marine Corps was started in a bar.
Yeah.
That's its birthplace. True story. It's Tun Tavern. Back in, the 1700s, the Navy was getting their ass kicked left and right because they were getting boarded. And then, sailors were sailors. They weren't fighting men.
Yeah.
So one individual went to Congress. It's like, hey, we need to start up a force to protect the sailors because they're trying to, like, do sailor shit. Right?
They're getting these boats where they need to be.
Right. Getting these boats, operating cannons. There's a mast. And, getting a ship, especially in those days, functioning is a lot of work. And so they said, all right. And they granted X amount of money. And they had one guy who was like the officer, he was a captain. And they gave him a little bit of money. And they're like, all right, go start a corps, the Marine Corps. And so he went to Tun Tavern. And that's where he conscripted. It's like, oh, look, you touched this coin. You're part of the Corps now. You're fucked. You're part of the military.
Around the pool table.
And so they got enough people, started the Marine Corps. And the Marine Corps' whole purpose in life was to go on naval ships, live on naval ships. And when they got boarded, they were the fighting force that would fight off whoever was trying to board the naval ships. They were so effective. They were like, yeah, okay, that was a good idea. We need to put more money into this. And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
Huh.
Makes sense. Marines. Yeah. I never heard that story before, but it makes sense.
So now you're teaching concealed carry classes.
Yeah. I've been teaching concealed carry here in Utah for about 8 years now, 9 years. Started with NRA. So I'm an NRA certified instructor in pistol, shotgun, rifle, as well as a range safety officer. I can teach the Utah concealed carry course. It's a very fun course to teach, actually. And I do first aid, CPR, and AD certifications, as well as a new program, which is active violence emergency response training. So what to do in the event of an active shooter type situation or active violent type situation, how to kind of tell signs that something might be going down, and what to do in the event that someone does get shot or someone does get injured. How do we stop the bleeding? How do we keep that person alive until we can get professional EMS there to kind of take over? So I do that. I have my own company doing that, American Response Academy. And then I do real estate. So like I said earlier, real estate agent and a loan officer. And that's kind of what I do these days. Worked mine for a long time. Drove the big giant Tonka truck, the big haul trucks at Kennecott.
The giant ones.
Yeah, I did that for about 4 years.
Huh.
Those things are huge.
Yeah.
Has your business been affected at all by? Didn't Utah now? Do they not require a
Changing concealed carry.
concealed carry permit now?
Last November.
Constitutional carry is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Took a huge dive.
Yeah.
This is why you diversify and you don't teach us one thing.
Yeah.
This is why you're in real estate, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
last November, Utah passed. It used to be up until November, you had to have a concealed carry permit in order to conceal carry. You could open carry, but now you can conceal
Correct.
without a permit. Right?
Yeah, correct. If you're 21 and over.
And so a lot of people now are not taking the class, obviously.
Do
because
people
they don't-
still take the class though?
Yeah, and I still get people reaching out wanting to take the class.
'Cause
And
I'll
so
tell you-
I still set up classes and I still teach it.
Yeah, because you taught when I got my concealed carry permit. You were the teacher, and to me, it's invaluable. I mean, even that wasn't enough. Like there needs to be way more training,
Oh, yeah.
way
Yeah.
more teaching, and way more lessons than that. So the fact that they completely abolished that to me blows my mind. I don't
Why was
know
it
if I agree with it.
Why was it abolished? It was just put on the ballot.
I don't know why.
So that's part of it. There's a big movement. It's called constitutional carry, and I actually agree with it. As an instructor, even, I agree with it. I don't believe that you need a government issued permit in order to carry in any type of way. Shall not be infringed, right? So this is an infringement technically requiring a citizen to have to go through these steps.
Yeah.
So it's a government restriction, and I don't believe in that. However, to combat that, we need to change sort of the culture around firearms and really start promoting, encouraging, and offering education. Education, good education, not some bullshit. Here's a PowerPoint,
for safe use and
necessarily.
operation. Yeah,
For safety
safe ownership.
operation, and then also the law aspect of it. The concealed carry course that Utah has that I still offer, that you can still get a concealed carry permit in, goes over the law, federal and state. So when you can, when you can't, where you can carry, where you can't carry. Having a permit is still very beneficial. You still get reciprocity with a bunch of other states. You don't have that necessarily with constitutional carry. For example, we have constitutional carry. Arizona has constitutional carry. I can't conceal in Arizona because I'm not a resident of Arizona. I would have to be a resident of Arizona in order for that law to cover me.
Right.
So it still is beneficial, and you get to learn, you get to know the laws, you get to ask questions, because a lot of times there's a lot of misconceptions out there, a lot of old wives' tales and myths when it comes to concealing or shooting somebody, and people that's perfectly understandable. It's it can be a very complicated subject. Depending what state you're in, it can be even more complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God forbid you shoot someone in California, lawyer up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I would recommend for people in Utah to take the class, because when I took it, like Jeff was saying, you learn a whole bunch. For me, I learned a lot of the cases when just because you can legally carry doesn't mean you're always legally justified in using the firearm.
Right.
And so they cover a lot of the situations where you can legally be justified in using your firearm, for force.
Well, do you guys have any questions? Like any
So I had a question
situational,
about that.
maybe I can answer.
Well, not necessarily situational, but
sure.
even though it's no longer required to have a permit in Utah, there still are permits in Utah. Is that
Yes.
true?
Yeah.
And do those permits that you get in Utah still have reciprocity in some states?
Most states.
Most states you can still get a Utah permit.
Correct.
And that is good in most states, you're saying. So
Correct. Yeah. And there's reciprocity maps you can find online.
right.
Anybody who teaches a course, I guarantee, is going to offer one as
Right.
well. I offer a physical copy, when you take my class.
Right.
And you still get benefits here in the state of Utah. For example, you cannot carry a firearm or a weapon in any place that's a public school, right? It's a gun-free zone.
Right.
Well, you can if you have a concealed carry permit, a Utah concealed carry permit. If I have a Utah concealed carry permit, I can conceal in any public school in Utah.
Right.
Okay. Well, if you don't, then you can't. Even though it's constitutional carry, you still can't go into that school area because that's one of the stipulations to work around that law.
You have
Right.
to be permitted.
You have to be permitted. Exactly. And if it's a private school, you have to get permission anyway because it's a private institution.
Yeah.
You don't have a constitutional ability to carry anywhere you want to just because you want to.
Right.
Right. If I say no guns at my house, you don't have a constitutional right to carry in my house because my house, I make the rules.
Right.
that kind of idea. But any public area, by all means, yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
So what is your caliber of choice for self-defense?
9mm. It packs a punch. It's very, very, you can find it very easily, right? It's usually cheap. Everything's expensive these days.
Yeah,
but
probably one of the most common rounds.
But it's one of the most common rounds, so the price of it is very low compared to like a 45 or some other type of round. I mean, a 22, sure, those are cheaper, but if we're talking 380 and up, it's cheap enough where you can buy and you can practice a lot with it. It's not going to break the bank to practice regularly with it. It's a common round, and the recoil on it is not as bad as when you get into that 40, 45.
Yeah.
I've taught many classes where I've had, husbands, boyfriends come up. It's like, hey, back me up here. I keep telling her that, if it's not a 40 or 45, it's not worth it. And I said, okay, why would you say that? It's like, those other rounds are kind of, wussy rounds. I said, a hot piece of lead flying like 1,000 feet per second hitting somebody's going to hurt regardless. 1. 2, I'd rather you be able to control the weapon accurately than have a big, knockdown power. Yeah, a 45 has some huge knockdown power. You hit somebody with that, you're going to knock them back. A 9, maybe not, depending on the size of the person. However, an individual, how well can you control that weapon is going to define whether you can use it accurately or not. If I shoot it and it bounces off my hand, it doesn't mean no good.
Yeah, when you fire it, it's a lot more forgiving. Like, if you shoot a 40, 45, there's a little bit more recoil and a little bit more time added to realign and take your second shot. Yeah. So you can accurately get X amount of bullets out of your 9mm in the same time frame as another one. And this is speaking personally.
Sure.
It's just being able to adjust and take the second shot and third shot and fourth shot. It's a lot quicker.
You can also fit a lot more cartridges.
Yeah.
In a 9mm magazine, typically.
Right.
If I take my Beretta and I take my 1911, they're both, similar sized. That Beretta can hold about twice the amount of ammunition than the 1911 can.
Right.
Going from 9 to 45.
That's the other thing too, is when you're concealed carrying and you have the smaller calibers, it typically means a smaller gun. If you had a 40 or 45, that's a small physical gun. The recoil on that's even crazier. Mm-hmm. And so having it in a 9, it's a little easier.
Have you ever had to use a firearm in self-defense?
I had an opportunity to, but so it was a drive-by. So I got shot at. They just peeled off out of there afterwards. But there was a shotgun trained at the door, ready to go within about 5 seconds.
Someone shot at your house.
It was where
they
I
were
was.
by your house.
It wasn't at my house. It was somewhere I was at.
Oh, okay. Wow. It's wild.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question, and we keep forgetting to do this, but we started this podcast because we think that America is really divided. And so we like to talk about that. And we've actually been meaning to ask our guests if there was a way to fix America, what do you think? And when I say fix, meaning the division that seems to be really prevalent right now, what do you think needs to happen?
I think in order to start repairing America, we need to end tribalism. And by that, I mean, I'm part of this camp, so fuck you.
Yeah.
As long as we have that, it's never going to end. Both sides. So as long as that continues being more and more reinforced and more concentrated, it's going to create a repelling effect where here's the middle, we keep getting to either side of that. And if you have an idea on that agrees with the other, it automatic, there's a shunning process. There's a sort of self-correction, self-healing the group tries to do to get you back to that point of view. For example, someone who's very much to the right, and they say they believe something like marijuana should be legal. Well, that's the left opinion.
Yeah, what are you doing here?
Let me tell you why you're wrong. Let me get you back to our camp, to our tribalism. And if not, then you don't belong here. Exactly. And I think that kind of rhetoric is dangerous, and it separates us further. And once we're so separated, it's harder to come back to the middle. There used to be a day and time in this country where you can say, I believe in Republican values. And they go, I believe in Democratic values. Let's have a beer and talk about it. At the end, shake hands and say, I'll meet you back next week. That isn't the case anymore. You know, a lot of times there's a lot of anger. And yes, it comes more from one side than the other. But I don't know. We need to end it. How we end it, I'm not quite sure. I think reaching out and having discussions is probably going to be the best part, and especially like you guys are doing here. It starts at the grassroots level. I don't think a politician's going to fix it. To each their own.
That's right.
Do no harm to others, and you know, as long as you're not trying to push and force, then there is no issue there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
I
I
love
like
it.
it.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Alex, for being on the show. Thanks, Tyler, for
Hey,
joining
thanks for
us
having
this
me.
week. And we have enjoyed the conversation. As Jeff always says, we could go on forever. We do want to cut it eventually. So, what a fitting time.
Yeah, what a fitting
that.
time.
Wonderful.
This was a good show. I
Testimonial.
liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys think? Did we fix America today?
We took a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know which direction that was, but
I think we, at least me, like I appreciate a little bit more like the men and women who serve our country, the things that they go through. And thank you for your service. You know,
cheers.
And, so, yeah.
Yeah, I think if we, like Alex said, if we move towards the mindset of eliminating tribalism and try to not make people believe what you believe, then maybe we can make America better.
We are a tribe. The other tribes are the other, you know, hostile countries. We can't have tribes within tribes. That just destroys us.
Yeah.
See what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
American values should be one tribe, and then those should go against hostile other tribes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say
Like wouldn't
which
it,
ones.
like wouldn't it be great if, for example, Russia invades Ukraine, if our whole country were just like together, you know? And I don't know.
right.
Neither do I.
Yeah. Neither do you.
Right.
So maybe we didn't fix America.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
All right.
Okay, cancel that.
Nice
Square
try.
one. We're going to start again.
Okay.
Welcome.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Later. Bye.